Hi friends, it's Miss Reynolds here. I'm in the construction area of our new classrooms, and I just wanted to show you what it looked like in here. Look at all of that. Look at all of those shapes. I see a lot of rectangles and squares and right angles. So that tells me that there's a lot of math in construction. So I was inspired by this to read you one of my favorite math stories. It's called The Greedy Triangle by Marilyn Burns. Okay, so it's about a triangle that decides it doesn't like its shape and wants to change, but then learns a lesson along the way. All right, are you ready? Here we go. The Greedy Triangle. Once there was a triangle that was, as most triangles are, always busy. The triangle spent its time holding up roofs, supporting bridges, making music in the symphony orchestra, catching the wind for sailboats, being slices of pie and halves of sandwiches, and much, much more. Can you see all the triangles in there? Triangle is a very important shape. The triangle's favorite thing, however, was to slip in the place where people put their hands on their hips. That way I always hear the latest news, it said, which I can tell my friends. So if you stood like this, you make a triangle with your arm, kind of. You see it? The triangle's friends liked hearing the news. Look at all these different shapes. We got a semicircle, a circle, a rhombus. And they're all hearing all about triangle's adventures. One day, the triangle began to feel dissatisfied. "I'm tired of doing the same old things," he grumbled. There must be more to life." So the triangle went to see the local shapeshifter. "How can I help you?" the shapeshifter asked the triangle. "I think if I just had one more side and one more angle," said the triangle, "my life would be more interesting." "That's easy to do," said the shapeshifter. Poof! The shapeshifter turned the triangle into a quadrilateral. Quadrilateral means 4 sides. So instead of being a triangle with 3 sides like a tricycle, it's a quadrilateral. 4 sides. Ooh, what do you think? Is this life going to get more interesting? Let's find out. Life changed in a wonderful way. The quadrilateral was happy with all the new things it could do. The quadrilateral could be a baseball diamond, or first, second, or third base. It could be a position on a checkerboard or a chessboard. It could be a television screen, a computer screen, or a movie screen. It could frame windows and frame pictures and much, much more. See all the quadrilaterals? The quadrilateral's favorite thing, however, was to be the pages of a book. "I learned so many interesting stories that way," it said, "which I can tell my friends." And the quadrilateral's friends liked hearing the stories. But one day, the quadrilateral began to feel dissatisfied. "I'm tired of doing the same old things," it grumbled. "There must be more to life." So the quadrilateral went back to the shapeshifter. "How may I help you now?" the shapeshifter asked the quadrilateral. "I think if I just had one more side and one more angle," said the quadrilateral, "my life would be more interesting." "Well, that's easy to do," said the shapeshifter. And poof! The shapeshifter turned the quadrilateral into a pentagon. One more side and one more angle from 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sides is a pentagon. What do you think? Is his life going to become more interesting? Let's find out. Life changed in a wonderful way. The pentagon was happy with all the new things it could do. On the baseball diamond, the pentagon could be home plate. It could be a section of a soccer ball, or appear inside whenever someone drew a 5-pointed star. The Pentagon's favorite thing, however, was to be the headquarters of the United States military near Washington, D.C. I hear all of the top secrets that way, it said. It's too bad I can't tell them to my friends. And the Pentagon's friends couldn't help feeling left out, because he knows all the top secret information from the CIA and the FBI and the military. Pretty cool. After a while, time seemed to pass slowly for the Pentagon, and it became, what, friends? Dissatisfied. I'm tired of doing the same old things, it grumbled. There must be more to life. So the Pentagon went back to the shapeshifter. So, you're here again, said the shapeshifter to the Pentagon. Now, what would you like? I think if I just had one more side and one more angle, said the Pentagon, my life would be more interesting. That's easy to do, said the shapeshifter. Poof! The shapeshifter turned the Pentagon into a hexagon, 6 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 6 angles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now he's a pentagon. Now he's a hexagon. Life changed again in a wonderful way. The hexagon was happy with all of the new things it could do. The hexagon fit in the floor tiles of houses and patios, and fancy crackers at parties and picnics. It worked as a socket in certain bolts and the prongs of certain wrenches. The hexagon's favorite thing, however, was to be a cell in a beehive. I love watching the bees buzz in and out, it said. The hexagon spent so much time in the beehive, it was too busy to talk to his friends. Meow. They're sad. The friends missed the hexagon and couldn't help feeling ignored. Again and again, the shape became restless, dissatisfied and unhappy with its life. Again and again, it returned to the shapeshifter for more sides and more angles. The shapeshifter agreed to turn it into one shape after another. A heptagon, which is 7 sides. An octagon, which is 8 sides. A nonagon, which is 9 sides. And a decagon, which is 10 sides. And on and on. Finally, the shape had so many sides. It had many, many sides and many, many angles. Look, all the way around. Its sides were so small that it had trouble keeping its balance. Its friends couldn't tell which side it was on and began to avoid the shape. Look, they're back here. Right? How long can you ignore your friends before they move on? Is that true in our lives too? For me, definitely. One day, when the shape was going down the hill, it began to roll. Faster and faster, screeching around corners, crashing into fences and trees, colliding with bicycles and terrifying walkers. At last, the shape came to a stop. It felt tired and dizzy, lonely and sad. Enough, said the shape. I don't know which side is up. I can't keep my balance. My friends don't want me around. The shape could no longer remember why it had been so unhappy as a triangle. Very carefully, it made its way back to the shapeshifter. Aren't you happy yet? The shapeshifter asked. I want to be a triangle again, said the shape. I'm not surprised, said the shapeshifter. And poof, the shapeshifter turned the shape back into a triangle. Da-da-da! He's very excited. The triangle was delighted to have its old shape back again and kept itself very busy. Once again, it held up roofs, supported bridges, made music in the symphony orchestra, caught the wind for sailboats, became slices of pie and halves of sandwiches and much, much more. How many triangles can you find? There's a lot of them. It's a very, very important shape. Still, the triangle's favorite thing was to slip in the place where people put their hands on their hips. That way, I always hear the latest news, he said, which I can tell my friends. Its friends liked hearing the news and were glad that Triangle is back in shape again. And that's the end. So this book makes me think about how important it is to be ourselves, right? And that there's nobody else out there that you can be better than you. So I hope you learned a lesson from the greedy triangle and that you love yourself, because we sure do love you. All right, bye.